Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, welcome to More Than Jira event, and thank you for attending our session today. I'm Harshit Bhagat. I'm a senior business analyst at miniOrange, and I'm accompanied by my colleague Ritik Bora, who will be presenting with me. He's a product owner in miniOrange. Before I begin with my presentation, I just wanted everyone to think how many times have we copy pasted data into our Jira and Confluence instances? Probably thousands and thousands of times, right? Now let's imagine that data has some sensitive information in it. Let's say your email IDs, customer email IDs, phone numbers, passport numbers, credit card information, etc. Right? And now let's imagine that that data stays within your Jira and Confluence instance for months or years without anyone having a overlook on it, right? Now that's a security threat which is being weighted or is about to be exposed. That's sensitive data. So that's exactly the problem we are tackling. The sensitive data that sits inside your Jira or Confluence instance for months or years without anyone looking at it, right? So let's set the agenda of the session. So we're going to be covering three main topics: how sensitive data enters your Jira and Confluence instance, why it matters, and how the miniOrange DLP PII Scanner solution will help you overcome it. Now, I'm not here to scare you, but I'm here to terrify you enough just so that you can buy or implement a solution that would, in turn, help your Jira or Confluence instance. Moving on. So, your Atlassian ecosystem is more like a digital brain. You feed in a lot of information. Let's say you talk to customers, you talk to your internal team. So you have some notes, you have some solutions, product roadmaps, API keys, access tokens, credit card information, all types of important information inside your Jira and Confluence. The problem is that it is searchable and it stays within your instance even after the tickets are closed. And it can be searched for over months, over years. Now, the most scary part about this is that it's a normal generic workflow in our lives. Like if I'm having a conversation with a customer or if I'm having a normal, let's say, a project work with my internal colleague, I'm just copy pasting data according to our internal chat. But the problem here is that this is a copy paste security gap because this information sits within your Jira and Confluence without anyone tracking it. One copy paste mistake can expose $1 million data. Like we like to say that most companies don't have a hacker problem, they have a copy paste problem. So let's dive deeper into that. So when I say sensitive data, people usually think password comes as sensitive data, but that's not it. It's a vast array of things like API keys, access tokens, employee IDs, IP addresses, credit cards, etc. Simple rule to classify sensitive data is if the data can identify a person, expose a system, or reveal confidential business information, it is termed as sensitive data. So let's take a look at this ticket. This is a generic Jira ticket, a realistic Jira ticket, which we do in all organizations. Can you spot some sensitive data over here? One, as we can see, is obviously the email ID of the customer's account. The next one is the temporary access token, then the backup key, and obviously the phone number. So in this case, let's say the customer raised an issue saying that he was unable to access payment dashboard after migration. Our support team solves that issue, it gets resolved, but the ticket sits in your Jira instance forever, searchable and exposable. So that was just one ticket. Imagine it happening over thousands and thousands of tickets that customers raise or our internal project tickets, which we have with our internal clients. So this is what a generic support ticket leak can look like. A customer faces an issue, troubleshoots the issue, pastes the logs in the Jira ticket. You can see there's hidden sensitive data within the logs. It's shared internally with the team. Issue gets fixed, but the ticket is resolved and it still sits in your Jira ecosystem. So the takeaway here is that there's nobody had a bad intention. Not my employees, not my internal colleagues, not the customer. But the sensitive data is still there and too many people can access it, which is the main problem. So here's a real world data which is supported by IBM 2025 report. It states that an average cost of a data breach is around 3.67 million. Along with that, 89% of the breaches involve theft of PII, which is what we are tackling here. So when I say data, sensitive data, it's classified into four categories. One is PII, which is basically social security numbers or anything which can help identify an internal user or a customer. Financial data can be your salary reports or your company's finance. IPN code, which is basically API keys, strategic product roadmaps, and client data, which is when we are involved with customer tickets. So why sensitive data spreads faster, right? So there are four main reasons. One, since Jira and Confluence is a collaboration workspace, it supports openness and speed, right? So when I say openness, I mean is open collaboration. So let's say there are multiple teams, multiple external teams which are working together on the same ticket, working together on the same Confluence page. When I say fast pace, now being a human, people prefer speed over sensitive, over data sanitization. And long living tickets, which we have already discussed, that even after the tickets are resolved, it stays in your ecosystem. And obviously, the main threat comes from third party exposures, which is via our connected apps or the API integrations which you have, which can unintentionally expand access to your sensitive Jira and Confluence data. So, how do we tackle it? So, at miniOrange, we have come up with a solution known as miniOrange DLP and PII Scanner. So, it's basically a plugin which scans your Jira issues and Confluence pages on an automatic basis on the basis of regex rules or rules which you have set. Let's say you set a rule saying that any alphabet followed by 7 digits is mostly a passport number. So it will scan, when it scans your Jira tickets or your Confluence pages, it will follow that rule, identify that data, scan it, and tell the admin that this data is there on these tickets, that your passport data is available on so-and-so ticket, your passport data is available on so-and-so Confluence pages. The admin can then decide what to do with it. He can either completely hide that data, partially hide that data, or encrypt and decrypt it on the basis of his or her organization needs. Now we also have a dashboard feature which provides a complete hub where he can manage false positive remarks or track all the violations that have been happening across the organization. So how this plugin benefits the customers is basically that it helps you stay in a compliance with GDPR and HIPAA standards, and it removes the copy paste errors in real time as it is a real time scanning plugin. And obviously it gives you peace of mind because you know your data is safe. So this is basically how the plugin works. Don't worry, you don't have to read it because I'm handing over the presentation to my colleague Ritik Bora. He will give you a short demo on how the plugin works. It's just a 5-minute presentation.
Thank you, Harshit. How do I play this? Yeah. So, hi everyone. I am Ritik. I am a senior software developer at miniOrange, and I have created this plugin mainly. So, I have prepared a demo for you guys. Am I audible? Oh, huh. So, I have prepared a demo for you guys. In the demo, basically, we'll be looking at a basic Jira ticket. It is a ticket which shows production git. Yeah. How do I pause it? Just yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah. So basically, it is a default Jira ticket that has sensitive information. Is it my audio? You also had the same issue, right? It's somebody else's. No? No, I have already muted it. Yeah, it happened with him as well when he was presenting. X. Really sorry, guys. Not my fault, but yeah. Even if they muted, I'll just. Are we good? Cool. Let me start. We'll fix it. So as I was mentioning, I have just created a demo Jira ticket which addresses a production gateway issue. In normal circumstances, the sensitive information will lie in between them. For our better understanding and to make it easier, I've already highlighted it. If you can see, I've zoomed it a bit. So in this ticket, I have a Stripe API key, an IP address, and if it goes down, there'll be a phone number and a passport number. So all these are sensitive enough data so that it should not be on the ticket. But over here, somebody has pasted it on the Jira ticket. So if I go ahead. Yeah. So I have bolded it for your reference. I'll show you how to configure the plugin and then get rid of it. The first thing that we need to do we need to configure is the detection rules. So detection rules are basically regex rules on the basis of which we actually scan whether a particular string of data is sensitive or not. By default, our plugin gives about 80 default detection rules that will cover all your GDPR, HIPAA compliance related regexes. You also have an option to create your own custom rules. For example, over here, I have created a custom rule for US phone number, Stripe API key, and IP address, those that were on the ticket that I showed you. Moving on, the next thing that we need to configure is called as templates. Templates are basically a group of regex rules that are bunched in together based on whether they are in the particular umbrella or not. So, for example, in this example, I have combined the US passport number and the UK passport number and US first number in PII, and the DevOps secrets that are the IT secrets, the IP address and Stripe API key under the DevOps template. So apart from that, our plugin is shipped with default templates for GDPR, HIPAA, and other EU-based templates as well. The final thing that we need to configure before we run the scans actually is called as policies. Policies are the final entities which are made up of templates. The scan runs on the basis of them. So the hierarchy is like there are policies. Policies are made up of templates, and templates internally have regex rules. And for this example, I have created an IT policy, which holds the PII template that I had shown earlier, and an HR policy. You can categorize it based on your preference. So we'll just go through this and we'll look at how the scan actually works. Yeah. So I'll be scanning one of my spaces in Jira. It's called lead DevOps, and I'll be scanning it for all policies. It'll take about 30 seconds or so. So what internally is happening is we are going through all the tickets in that particular space, and flagging out whether the policies that I had marked, if they have been flagged anywhere. As you can see over here, there was the LD1 ticket that I had shown earlier at the start. It has been flagged rightly for IT policy and HR policy violations. And if you go into the details of it, the rules that were matched were IP address, Stripe API key, UK passport number, and US phone number, those which were bolded on the ticket earlier. We also show a preview of what actually inside the ticket got flagged. So as you can see, I have already, I show the IP address, the keys and all. The next thing that our plugin does is to redact the data or get rid of the sensitive information. So for that, we'll just select the ticket. And as Harshit mentioned earlier, we have an option to fully redacted, partially redacted, remove, or encrypt. So for full redaction, it means basically if there is a credit card number on the ticket, it will get completely starred. So any other user will not come to know what that particular information was. And for partial redaction, it can be like if somebody has pasted a phone number over there. If I remove, say, half of the numbers out, half of the digits out of the phone number, it doesn't make sense for any person to use that information. So I'll just show you how the full redaction basically works. So if I click on execute, yes, yeah. So now what will happen is whatever was flagged earlier, it will get replaced with stars so that anybody after that instance does not get to see the information that was sensitive for my company. So at the end, if you can see the, yeah. So the sensitive information is removed now. And you saw there's within a blink of eye, everything that was bolded earlier got replaced by stars. That is something that will happen for those who are actually viewing the ticket. For anybody else that loads the ticket, they will naturally see the stars itself. So this is how the plugin basically gets rid of the sensitive information on your tickets. There are a couple of more features that our plugin provides. This is the basic workflow that happens. So we do this type of scanning and redaction for attachments as well. And this is real time as well. So supposing a developer in your team creates a new ticket or updates a ticket, in that case also the plugin will scan in real time, flag whatever is there and get rid of that so that any other person doesn't come to know what is sensitive in the ticket. So yeah, that's basically it. Do you guys have any questions? Go ahead, please. Uh-huh. So yeah, so for that, we have it in a pipeline, the scheduling part that everyone is to. But as for automations, already a plugin has it. As I mentioned, this is something I wanted to show the basic flow, workflow. That's why I went the manual route. In general, whenever, say, you create a new ticket, that is the moment our plugin catches it, scans it, and redacts it based on what you have said. So you don't have to go and run it personally. It is just the basic workflow. But yeah, so for that, the SMTP support, we already have that in our plugin. So what will happen is whenever, but that information is on a scan basis. So if I manually scan it, I will get a whole report of all these pages were violated for certain rules, as I mentioned. And then the admin gets an email over his, mail over his email that what do you want to do with it? Do you want to redact it or that is there? Yeah. Any other questions? So attachments, we currently support docs, TXTs, and PDFs. So our plugin can scan through them. And similar way, they show the results, and they can redact it also. We are adding more attachment supports. For example, we are going to add CSV now. And the image one that you said, OCR is what we are trying to build. That is also in progress. So, yeah. If you have any other questions, we have a booth there, the miniOrange booth. You can come and talk to us. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.